and the silent killer in your kitchen. How ultra-processed foods are reshaping our health. Scripts start below. Pre-cleaned for direct use in Fleeky or similar tools. What if the most dangerous thing in your life isn't a virus, pollution, or even genetics, but what's on your plate? Around the world, diets have transformed more in the past 50 years than in any other time in human history. And leading that transformation is a category of food most of us eat daily, often without realizing its hidden dangers. They're called ultra-processed foods. Ultra-processed foods, or UPFs, include things like packaged snacks, soft drinks, sugary breakfast cereals, frozen pizzas, and even many protein bars. These aren't just processed, they are re-engineered, stripped of their natural form, and loaded with additives to boost taste, shelf life, and sales. Today, over 60% of the average American's calorie intake comes from ultra-processed food. In the UK, it's closer to 57%. In countries like Brazil and Mexico, the numbers are rapidly rising. But what does this mean for our health? In 2019, a landmark study by the National Institutes of Health put healthy adults on two diets, one made entirely of ultra-processed foods and one made of unprocessed whole foods. The participants could eat as much as they wanted. The result, those on the ultra-processed diet consumed about 500 more calories per day and gained weight rapidly, even though they didn't feel hungrier. It's not just about weight. A 2023 study published in The Lancet found that higher consumption of UPFs was associated with a significantly increased risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even cancer. So, what makes ultra-processed foods so harmful? First, they're designed for overconsumption. Their texture, flavor, and even crunch are engineered to light up the brain's reward system, similar to how addictive substances work. Second, they're nutritionally poor. They often contain high levels of sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, and almost no fiber. This combination leads to chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, and gut microbiome imbalances. Third, many UPFs are packed with emulsifiers, colorants, and artificial sweeteners. While approved for use, growing evidence links some of these additives to long-term health risks. And here's where it gets even more concerning. Studies now show a correlation between ultra-processed food consumption and mental health issues. A 2022 study in Public Health Nutrition found that individuals with high UPF consumption had a 48% higher likelihood of reporting mild depression. Let's pause and think about how these foods infiltrate our lives. For millions of busy parents, a microwave meal seems easier than cooking from scratch. For students or workers, energy drinks and snack bars fill the gaps between deadlines. In low-income communities, ultra-processed food is often the cheapest and most accessible option. But the cost we save at the checkout counter may be costing us years of life. In fact, researchers from the University of Sao Paulo estimate that reducing ultra-processed food intake could prevent up to 20% of premature deaths linked to diet-related diseases. Still, there's hope. Some countries are already taking bold steps. In Chile, clear front-of-pack warning labels and junk food advertising bans have led to a measurable decline in soda consumption. In France, public campaigns promoting minimally processed foods are gaining momentum. At a personal level, small changes make a huge difference. Start by reading labels. If the ingredient list looks more like a science experiment than a kitchen recipe, think twice. Cook more at home, even if it's just one extra meal a week. Prioritize whole foods, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, whole grains, and lean proteins. Swap soda with water. Replace chips with air-popped popcorn or nuts. Choose plain yogurt over flavored ones filled with sugar. Think about how you feel after a meal. Real food energizes. Ultra-processed food often leaves us bloated, tired, and craving more. This isn't about guilt, it's about power. Once we know what's really going into our bodies, we regain control over our health. And for parents, the food habits you model now may shape your child's long-term relationship with food. Imagine a future where kids grow up energized, not addicted to sugar. Where chronic diseases decline not through medicine, but through mindful eating. It starts with awareness, and it continues with action. Food is medicine, or it can be poison. The choice is ours. Let's choose wisely.